Justin Barron plays overtime hero, and Josh Anderson has another stellar game scoring in back-to-back. We're going to break down everything that happened in this game, plus we got some awesome praise for Juraj Slafkovsky from Coach Marty and Nick Suzuki, and a bit of Bogdan news and a shocking stat that shows, he's maybe even better than we thought. So stick around for all that on this episode of Habs Digest. But before we get into the video, as I've been doing recently, guys, we've gained like 500 subscribers in the last 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding. Like, you guys have been hitting the button when I've shown this graphic. I know you're getting tired of it. I still need to change it. I'm getting lazy. I'm not going to lie. 55+% of you guys are not subscribed. Hit the button. We'd really appreciate it. You want to be part of the first 10K? Hit it now. Thank you very much. We got to talk first about Bogdan Konjushkov. I feel like we talk about him more than almost anyone else, Jesse, but it's for good reason, because it's really fun to say his name, and he's been playing really well. Of course, captain that 3v3 tournament for Team Russia, and he's been playing really well, up there at the top of the KHL in minutes per game as well. But halfway through the KHL season, one stat that sticks out is Habs prospect 20-year-old Bogdan Konjushkov leads all defensemen in number of successful passes with 1,746. The next closest is the Hurricanes' Alexander Nikishin with 1,457. That's almost a 300 pass threshold between him and the second place guy. And that for a defenseman, that's I mean, it's a strange stat to pick, let's be honest, but it's still an important stat. Completing these passes, whether it's to your partner or outlet passes, if you're doing them a lot, like, that can just elevate your team to a whole nother level. Just, I know it's kind of niche, but I don't know, I found it pretty cool.
No, it's important because that old adage of defense to offense is so true, right? That's often where the play starts. It's in the D zone. If that your defenseman can make that first good play, kind of tape to tape, I mean, you're really setting yourself up for success. Of course, the way that the Montreal Canadiens like to play fast and a puck possession type of game, obviously those skills are really beneficial. And nice to note that this isn't just for like rookies in the KHL. This is for all defensemen, right? So this guy just continues to just do really impressive stuff just all the time, things that we don't really expect. But again, he's showing the ability to be able to help out the offense of a team quite a bit with his very good passing abilities.
Yeah, he definitely has some decent offensive upside. Skating is not the best, but I'm seeing some Habs fans saying, hey, maybe best case scenario, he turns out like a super light version of Andrei Markov, and where like there's some offensive potential, can be on that second power play. Yeah, maybe that potential's there. Realistically, maybe not, because again, he's going to be in the KHL for a few years. He's an overager. There's a lot of things going against Bogdan, but Jesse, it feels like at every turn he's impressing us over and over. So yeah, just a little Bogdan update, because I know you guys love him. We love him here. It's fun to say his name, Bogdan. Shout out Bogdan. Let's talk about a different guy whose name is also fun to say, and that's Juraj Slafkovsky. We've talked a lot about him, but again, also for good reason, because this guy has been playing out of his mind recently. And Jesse, we got some good quotes from Marty and Suzuki talking about his play. First from Marty: Juraj is finding consistency from the beginning of the season. His details on both sides of the puck, off the puck, have been very mature, and it's rare you see that with a 19-year-old. Very, very true. And also Suzuki said that he's been playing great two-way hockey, wins a lot of puck battles, we know, strong on the walls, we know, goes to the net, so he's definitely been a big help to our line, and I think production-wise, it's coming for him. Yeah, not just you, Nick. We all think the same thing, Jesse. I mean, it's one thing for us to see the progression. It's another thing for the coaching staff to see the progression, but it's the other thing for the captain of your team, your first-line center, to be saying, oh yeah, production's coming for this guy. He's been helping us out a lot.
Because they appreciate it. He's really somebody that you can rely on. I know one thing that I've been kind of looking for is, how does he play in the defensive zone again? And if you watch Slafkovsky, every time, he is so quick to pick up his check. He knows exactly what his assignment is. He gets on it right away. He's doing a really great job of anticipating the play, because there's a lot that goes into winning those puck battles, those board battles, the positioning, again, that Marty talks about all the time. These are these important details that Juraj is really doing so well, again, to really be that complete player. So it's so nice to see, right? Because if you're really doing those little small things right, it's really going to add up, and he's just going to gain more and more trust from Martin St. Louis that way.
Yeah, for sure. And we keep seeing it like every single game. We'll get into the game tonight as well, where he played another great game, but it's like the confidence of what he does is stepping up every single game. Every single game you see him, maybe like tonight, he made a hit that you wouldn't have seen before. He's on board battles, maybe a little bit more than you would have seen. He's poking a puck away from an offensive player on the forecheck, maybe once or twice more than he has before. So it's these continual improvements, but notably defensively, Jesse, that's the big thing with him. I mean, we've seen him in clutch defensive situations recently. I don't know if it's just a matter of time till we see him on the penalty kill. I don't know. feel like it could be interesting, but hey, keeping an eye on it. But it's really great that leadership in this organization is recognizing it. But that's a pretty smooth transition. Let's just get right into the game. And yeah, I mean, look, the Habs, they needed another win. I think they did. I mean, look, we all know the Habs, like, this is a semi-tank season, but as we kind of talked about before the show, Jesse, they're borderline in the playoff picture. Like, they are doing phenomenal right now. But like, we can talk about all this stuff. Let's talk first about Justin Barron getting that overtime winner. He is scoring like crazy this season. I saw a salary projection for him saying his market value is about $3.5 million per season. Yeah, spoiler, he's making a lot less than that. Josh Anderson with 2 points as well. I mean, who stood out for you tonight? I mean, well, first of all, obviously Justin Barron scoring the goal as his brother Morgan is going to try and block the shot. It was just a special night for him. Of course, Anderson getting back-to-back goals. I just thought there was, while there were some downsides, the Habs really letting the Jets get on them for stretches, like, again, resiliency and ability to win games like this is just, it's such a character builder.
It is. It's actually we're actually 7-0 now going into games where we're leading going into that third period. And I think a big reason that's actually very surprising for such a young team. So I think Martin St. Louis definitely deserves a lot of credit with like a very depleted roster with getting a good game plan that we're starting to see now in a couple games now where you start to see the overall picture and some really good coaching by him tonight in terms of trying to get away from certain matchups. So anyway, some really great coaching for him. But I think the second line was big, tonight, especially in that first period. They were starting off the game and everything, getting so much trust from Martin St. Louis, and why not? Josh Anderson had a great game last game. But the big question was, would he be able to carry it into this game? That momentum after being snake bitten for so long, was it just kind of a very fluke sort of game last one, or was there something behind it? Was there some meat and potatoes there? And the answer was that, that Josh Anderson's been putting in that hard work. It wasn't a fluke. And Josh Anderson, he can be big for this team. And not just because he's 6'3". It's like when you got a guy who's, again, going to the net, that's how he scores, just driving to that net, playing hard. Obviously Evans is starting to get some points now in the last couple of games. I definitely think he's worth kind of bring up as well. Monahan doing Monahan things as well. So nice to see the emergence of that second line a little bit.
The beauty yes. Jake Evans. I gotta find my other Jake Evans card, but you're very right. That line looked just phenomenal again, and Anderson, like, what a way to break out of a slump than a couple. I don't want to say lucky goals, because last game was not lucky. It was exactly Josh Anderson's style. It was just these goals that normally come to him that haven't so far this year. But tonight, maybe even a bit lucky, but you take it, and that's exactly what you want. Like a puck banking in off his leg while he was in really good position, mind you, right? If it didn't hit his leg, he was probably there to tap it in. So still a goal anyway. And the other one, borderline hand pass. I'm still not sure if he touched that with the blade of his stick when he knocked it down with his hand, but it doesn't matter because the refs didn't see it. Winnipeg challenged it. It got held up as a good goal. Hey, shout out to you, Josh Anderson, on that power play assist to Christian Dvorak. Another just great game from him, Jesse. It really felt like he was driving the play, like the classic Josh Anderson we saw. Even that 1 or 2 goals last game clearly gave him a boost of confidence. 4 points in the last 2 games for him. Let's hope it continues. But there's a lot of guys like I want to talk about, right? There's so much that went on this game. Again, shout out to Barron, shout out to Anderson. Of course, Caufield picking up another assist. I mean, he's been doing really well. But then we take a look at Slav again. Third on forwards, only behind Suzuki and Caufield. 20 minutes again, Jesse. Like we said, he has really been dominant on the board battles. He actually led the team besides Suzuki in even strength time on ice. He has been otherworldly recently. Again, the points are not coming. And I get people are like, wow, you guys keep saying all this good stuff about Slav and he's just not producing. Fair enough criticism. You want to see points. But at the same time, like, he is making things click for that first line, Jesse, and there's a reason Marty's giving him 20 minutes a night. He wouldn't give him 20 minutes a night if he was just not working hard and not deserving. I just think every single game, I think more and more people are realizing just how talented this kid is.
He's really being a dominant factor. And again, it's like this team is so reliant on that first line performance. It seems like whenever they're able to kind of have a good start, have a good game, which tonight wasn't anything too flashy, but again, they're getting solid offensive zone presences. And I think that's all you can really ask for right now is like, if they're kind of putting that solid effort, it's amazing for this team how everything else just kind of responds. We cannot win hockey games without our first line really showing up. And Slav has really been the missing piece to this first line. And now that he's here, it's like, we're having a first line. We're becoming a little bit more competitive. And it's like, well, this year's about rebuilding. It's so funny. It's like, we're starting to get into that playoff picture. And for me, a big part of that is obviously like has to do with this first line kind of coming together. It's amazing. Like, we were doing okay with so many guys being snake bit for a while. So you have to feel like once these guys start scoring goals, Anderson, if we weren't doing so bad before then, obviously this is going to help get us a couple more wins. So definitely not surprised to see the W tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, unless we did the math wrong, the Habs are 2 points out of a playoff spot. That's no joke. They're 2 points. They like 2 points ahead. They'd be tied with the likes of Detroit and Washington for that second wild card spot. That is absurd. That is insanity. This team is 14, 13, and 3, I think, right now. Like, it makes no sense. And like you said to me before the show, Jesse, there's a lot of teams that people thought they were going to take the leap this year. The Montreal Canadiens, without Kirby Dach, without Alex Newhook, with a bunch of injuries to different people, Harvey Pinard, David Savard on defense, like just people missing games left and right, no certainty in net. This team is somehow almost like they're on the bubble of the playoffs so far, and we're almost at Christmas. It's absurd. This is the first game of a 7-game road trip, and it's exactly what we wanted to see, right? This is the road trip that hurts the Habs every single year. It's the time of year where you got to go over 500 if you really want to prove yourself, and what a great start. Before we finish the video, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Jake Allen. What did you think of his performance tonight, Jesse? Third time showing up the stats. I'm sorry. No, you know what? I'm not. Have a look at it. Juicy. 938 save percentage. 4 power play saves. I thought he was phenomenal tonight. Looked like vintage Jake Allen. Quick, right positioning, making his case for whatever teams are scouting him. I mean, just what a game for him. He is a huge reason the Habs came out with the W tonight.
Kent Hughes' phone's going to be ringing even more after this game because Hughes is playing solid every time. And I'm glad that you're bringing him up right now because he is definitely worth a mention. He played solid. We're not getting the W without him tonight. He's square the shooter all night, doing what we need to do. He wasn't getting all that much goal support, all night. We were in the lead, right? But it was tenuous. But he was able to really kind of keep us in it. Again, so fundamental to this win, right? So an amazing game for him, and you have to feel like all it's doing is just up in his trade value even more.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna come. It's gonna be 11:59 the night before the trade freeze. Kent Hughes is laying alone in bed. His phone rings. It's Ken Holland. I will give you Xavier Bourgault for Jake Allen. Does he say no? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That'll do it. For this, well, I don't know what did I just did. It's late, guys. I'm tired. That'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 10,000 subs. We really appreciate it. Look, if you stayed and you listened to that nonsense, come on. Do me a favor. Hit the like or subscribe. I'm Josh Goss, my co-host Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.